Yo, what's good, everybody? Today, on Technical Tuesday, we're going to be going over a trade recap um, on a trade I took, actually just closed up today. So I just thought it was appropriate to do one of these. It was a great trade technically. There's a few things that I haven't mentioned before that I think might be able to help you guys out. So, what's good, Seymour? My cat's excited. Let's get started. So, let's clear off this chart and get started. Let's hop over to the 4 hour. And yeah, I know it's exciting, Seymour. Let's start marking up some zones. So we can see here this area, clear zone. Um, and it looks like this area here's a nice zone. Um, this area is a nice zone. And we're just looking for areas, of course, price likes to react. And then looks like we have a nice zone here. And one right here. All right, cool. So now that we have some relevant zones marked off here, let's look at some trend lines. So this thing obviously broke through the 200 moving average, came back to retest, and now it's in a downtrend, which it really hasn't been for, well, honestly, for months, almost a year. It's ended its last downtrend in July of 2019, right? For the most part, it's been making higher highs until recently. It broke this higher low. So that was really interesting. And it happened for a few reasons. Fundamentally, basically, the Australian dollar has been benefiting due to the fact that they've handled the coronavirus very well, which makes their currency very attractive. They have very few cases and they're looking at reopening their economy very soon, unlike some other countries. So that makes the Australian dollar very attractive at the moment. So based off that idea and based off the technicals, I decided to take a short. Really, the only trend line that I used was this major one, right? Now, of course, this isn't perfect. It doesn't line up, perfectly here, but it does match up, and so it's okay if it's not perfect, right? There's a little bit of, slippage or whatever you would like to call it, but it's fine. It's pretty accurate, let's say. And so I saw it bounced off this trend line, broke through. And let's head down to the 1 hour. Broke through and kind of sort of retested it, but not really. It broke through. However, once it came back below this trend line, I get this is not my usual setup. Honestly, my entry could have been better on like this retest. But I wanted to get in short here because I was pretty positive this thing was heading lower. For that reason, and also if we draw a fib here from this low, once it broke through to this last high, it rejected perfectly off of the 38 level and the 100 MA, right? The moving averages were really signaling this thing was headed lower, and as we see that those worked out pretty nicely. So where I took my position was right here on this strong push down on this candle here. And I didn't match up my TP with extensions this time. I usually do, but given this strong area of, as you can see, support, I just decided I was going to get out there and not wait for it to get to the 161. And my stop was just above this high. So I knew if it broke above here, if it came back, I didn't want to be involved in this trade. I'll look for another entry or something, reevaluate. So long story short, this was the trade. I didn't add any to it. I just let this thing run, and it worked out well. I had 110 pip stop and almost 300 pips profit. So decent risk reward, 2.5. Pretty nice clean trade. Besides, of course, like I said, my entry could have been better. I kind of hopped in, which is not something you want to do. But regardless, the fundamentals were so strong. It was fine. It worked out. And it was a really clean trade from a technical perspective, right? Even if you didn't know the fundamentals, this thing was in a downtrend. Broke a strong trend line. The moving averages was signaling it was heading lower, making lower lows. Everything was pointing down. So this would have been a great trade to take technically, but also the fundamentals helped with I guess confidence to take the trade. So yeah, pretty clean trade, pretty simple, straightforward. Hope you guys learned something from this. I like doing trade recaps because I think it really gives a good picture about how I trade, my thought process, and so you can apply that to your trading as well. Yeah, have a great week, guys. I will see you on Friday, and stay safe. Wash your hands. Peace.